o'clock on a relentlessly cold, rainy morning in Lakeside, California, and the DJ is playing Every Day I'm Shuffling. In my car, I'd change the station immediately. But I'm not in my car. I'm at a motocross track in Lakeside, and so I find myself bouncing along, shuffling even. In my defense, it's cold as fuck, and I'm wearing a tank top, sports bra, and shorts. The rain, which has been going on and off like a bad relationship, starts up again. This is not what I signed up for, I tell my boyfriend, who is here for moral support. Actually, it is, he reminds me. He's right. I paid $65 for the privilege of participating in the Gladiator Rock and Run. What compelled me to do so, I'm having a difficult time trying to remember. Maybe it was the free beer they promised on their website. The website, which also featured autoplay guitar licks, said that runners should arrive an hour before their start time to get their bib and commemorative t-shirt. I'm compulsively early to everything, and I wanted that damn t-shirt, so here I was at the track with an hour before my race. Being late makes me anxious, and I didn't want to risk it this morning. Come to think of it, almost everything makes me anxious. A-minuses, sore throats that are actually cancer, running extreme 5Ks in the rain out in East County. But hey, I made it here, and along with signing away the ability to sue should one of the obstacles kill me, I'm pretty sure I also agreed to a non-refundable registration fee. This is going down. Around 8:15, Nitro gets on the mic. Wait a minute, hold up, did she just say Nitro? As in the Nitro? From the American Gladiators? As in the totally washed up and balding wrestler? Yeah, that's the one. Hey, is everybody pumped? He says. A few people cheer. They are the shirtless frat boys from SDSU with their fraternity letters written on their chests. I just grumble. Come on, that was pathetic. Is everybody pumped? He says. This incites more cheering from the frat boys, plus a team wearing tutus over their running gear. Nitro then tells us that because he knows we're super tough gladiators, and he knows we've got the guts, and we want the glory, they've extended the track. Instead of the 5K as advertised, it's now about 6.5K, which is about a mile longer. I call bullshit on Nitro's pep talk. Okay, this I did not sign up for. Come on, it'll be fun, my boyfriend tells me. You're not the one who has to do it. 10 minutes before my race, I jog in place at the starting line because that extra mile they tacked on just wasn't enough. A group wearing neon green t-shirts warms up beside me. I hear a woman trying to comfort her friend, a running newbie. It's only 3 miles, she says. Actually, it's 4, I pipe up. Nitro announced it this morning. Wait, Nitro is here? Someone from her group asks. Her friend looks frightened. So do I. Nitro counts down for us, and at the 5-second mark, the light sprinkle turns into a rain. Fuck. The horn sounds, and we're off. I had signed up for this race precisely because it's the type of thing I would never do. Don't get me wrong, I actually enjoy running, but mud and extreme physical exertion? No thanks. I prefer bumping Kanye on my iPod and bouncing through the park. But somehow I got it in my head that I should do something to challenge myself, so I signed up. Plus, guys, a free beer. I'm a pretty casual runner at best, and I didn't want to make a total fool out of myself, so a few weeks before the race, I amped up my runs. I added push-ups to my workouts. I ran upstairs and I drank super chalky protein shakes. I was feeling great. But then 4 days before the race, I got sick. I was lying in bed, wearing sweats and thick socks, wrapped in blankets. I was also coughing up large amounts of murky phlegm and had been living off of popsicles and NyQuil for the last few days. I was 12 episodes deep in the first season of Fox's now 5-year-old series, Prison Break, and had developed an unabashed obsession with the show. It's streaming on Amazon Instant, and it was the only thing getting me through a feverish haze. Things were not looking up for me. 5 minutes into the run, my hair was drenched. My arms were freezing, and I couldn't feel my toes. That's when I heard the shots and remembered that the first challenge was running through a paintball course. There was a pseudo castle set up, but the only way to get around, or rather through it, was via a window, about 3 feet off the ground. I had gone paintballing before, and that shit hurts. It hurts when it hits you through the jeans, and I did not want to find out what it felt like on my bare arms or legs. Fear propelled me forward. I sprinted without looking back and pulled myself through an open window. It felt like a war zone. I could hear the shots behind me and others shouting to their friends, "Come on, Sarah, I'm not leaving you behind!" From the corner of my eye, I saw Sarah panic and jump through an open window, head first, into the row of tires set up below. Sarah was only going to drag me down, so I kept running until the noise of the gunshots became faint. I still couldn't feel my arms. A woman beside me must have seen the look of terror on my face. "How you holding up?" she asked. Through the mud, I could see her bright green shirt. It was the woman from earlier who introduced herself as Grace. "Oh, I can't feel my toes," I said, "but I'm okay. You here with anyone?" In another context, I might think she was hitting on me. "No," I puffed out. I could see a look on her face. It was pity, and I was a pitiful sight. Drenched from the rain, ankles and knees splattered in mud, and going it solo. No one told me that I would be one of few runners to do this on their own. Most people came with their friends, and many of them dressed up. Someone wore a tuxedo, and an inexplicably large number of people were donning fake mustaches. There was a group of pro wrestlers. Hulk Hogan was there. Actually, there were 2 Hulk Hogans. Me, well, I could drag my boyfriend out of bed to come take pictures, but there would be no convincing him to run with me anywhere. I'm also decidedly anti-tutu when it comes to jogging gear. But from that moment on, when this woman caught sight of my pitiful self, I was no longer running it alone. Grace ran alongside me, jogging in place at the tops of hills and waiting patiently while I huffed and coughed my way up. Because of the rain that morning, what should have been a race with a few muddy obstacles turned into an entire track with even muddier obstacles. But despite this, and despite my lingering sore throat and persistent cough, I was doing okay. About halfway through the run, the rain subsided and the sun came out. My shoes were heavy, my hair filthy, and my hands raw from climbing in and out of 3 different dumpsters. But on the bright side, those dumpsters hadn't been filled with reeking trash, and I was still upright, making minimally awkward small talk with Grace. And then it happened. There were only 300 yards left. All that stood between me and the flames at the finish line was a wall. This was it. I was at the last challenge. The website called it the Beast and said we'd need to release our inner beast to scale it. But hey, I had run through icy water and up steep, muddy hills. Those tires, I fucking hopped the shit out of them. I even did the military crawl under barbed wire in a pit of mud and scraped my knees crawling through the cement pipes. All that was left was to get over this wall. It was equipped with knotted ropes and was positioned at a tilt. Think Batman climbing up the side of a building, which makes it sound a lot more awesome and a hell of a lot easier than it was. But it was the final challenge. "Come on, motherfucker," I said to myself. "You can do this." Grace was right there echoing that sentiment, except she didn't call me a motherfucker for some reason. "You can do this," she said. "Bend your knees and don't let go of the rope." I got psyched. I was going to do this. I grabbed a hold of the rope and I bent those motherfucking knees. My hands, raw and cold, clutched tightly onto the rope. Sweat poured down my forehead, over my eyebrows and into my eyes. My muscles burned and ached. I pulled hard and made it up a few feet. But slowly I felt my grip on the rope begin to give, and I fell backwards onto the slope. The impact of my body on the still wet mud sounded like humiliation. Where was my inner beast when I needed it? I looked to my right, where a woman was being pushed by her friends. I looked behind me and saw a line forming. I had come so far. I had half-heartedly run so many miles, done like 12 push-ups, and watched so many episodes of Prison Break in preparation for this. Only to end here, 300 feet before the finish line. This is it, I thought. I wasn't going to finish. I wouldn't be jumping over those flames. I wouldn't get the medallion with the rock fingers on it. Tears welled up in my eyes. I took a deep breath and wondered what the protagonist from Prison Break would do. But unfortunately, no amount of careful planning would save me, so I decided, fuck no. It wasn't going to end here. I momentarily disregarded my stranger anxiety and looked behind me once again. Waiting to go was a good-looking, muscular Marine. Bro. I leveled with him. I looked up at the wall and back at him. You gotta help me out. I grabbed the rope and felt large, strong hands on my ass. This is just what I needed. Pulling myself up to the top was a struggle. The wall was tall, so even with this push, I still fought to clamber up the last 3 feet. When I got to the top, I was breathless and in tears. I stumbled the last 100 feet and hopped over the flames, which were not nearly as intimidating as they were in the press photos. At the finish line, while others smiled and gave thumbs up to the cameras, I just flipped them off, tore off my filthy t-shirt, and waited in line for my free Karl Strauss lager. Never had a watered-down beer in a plastic cup tasted so good.
Alexi Glines, everybody.